Good morning, I'm John. Today is Thursday, May 30th, 2024. This is yet another of my daily vlogs, my regular ritual stand-up where I'm talking about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going, trying to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So let's start with yesterday. So I told you yesterday I had decided on I was trying to work on another long form based on a project I had started a year ago and kind of abandoned, which was the restoration of this ColecoVision that I picked up now 5 or 6 years ago, I guess. I wanted to get that out by yesterday or today, and I was able to get all of the shooting. Majority of it was a little writing and a little shooting, a lot of editing, mostly indexing footage because I shot so much footage for this full thing is to find the pieces that I needed from within that footage that I shot. So that's what I accomplished. I got all that done, and I want to say it was 5:30 or so in the evening, late afternoon, that I finally got that published. Look for a brand new topic we haven't touched at all. I'm very happy with how it's done already. So I've done maybe one video about ColecoVision ever, and it was a plug and play. This video overnight has done about 3,600 views. And as a reminder, it's one of possibly a series of them based on how this one does. I can continue to do not only for the footage I already shot, but to continue the story. And so pleased with how that has done, and we'll talk more about this potential expansion here at the end of this vlog. I also did some Friday Plays research, which is highfalutin talk for playing the game some more, so I'm very familiar with it. And then in the evening at 7 o'clock, I was live with 1980s Now. We recorded the new episode live on YouTube and Facebook, and that episode's available on podcast feeds on Monday. So let's talk about stats. Very good day yesterday, but that's not how averages work. So, I would like to be right at the middle of my chart at 10,000 views and 50 subscribers average over the last 7 days. Though yesterday was strong, it was not as strong as the 8th day that fell off the chart. So we're about where we were yesterday. 9,800 views, just shy of the 10,000, and almost 38 subscribers average. Again, yesterday was stronger than that, but the average is still a bit lower. But we're on the uptick a bit. No new milestone, but we're about halfway to 49.7, so probably in a day or two based on our average. I would expect, well, not tomorrow then, but by Monday at least we'll be talking about 49.7 and some change probably. But that's another day. That's another day. Let's talk about today. First of all, the podcast we edited on Tuesday live on Twitch is live today. It's available right now. You can go and listen to it. And I'll keep an eye on the stats for it, as I always do. Also today is Friday Plays work. So this has become a real routine. I like how Thursdays play out right now. So today I will finish writing, shoot, play, edit, publish to members, and schedule for tomorrow the Friday Plays for tomorrow. I've not yet told anybody what I've picked. I think it'll be a surprise, but it will make sense. Does that make that doesn't make any sense even? And I said it makes sense. Doesn't matter. You'll see. And as a surprise, I don't know exactly when, but my daughter is driving up from South Florida, and we're going to have lunch. Now, knowing her, it might be a late lunch, so we'll see how that goes. But she's driving up to spend a day or so. She's visiting some friends here, and I get the benefit of hanging out with her. So kind of leaving my afternoon open to see how that goes. I may also, depending on how the day goes and how my shooting goes at the Friday Plays, I might try to go ahead and slide in another Celebrating Yesteryear that is slated to be done on Monday, but hey, no harm in getting it done early if I can. If I have that window of time that I'm not sure about, shooting a Celebrating Yesteryear takes about an hour and a half to do, so I might do that today. It's another possibility. So before I go, I want to talk a little bit about this. I don't know how I arrived at it. I think I was looking through old footage and I went like, I've never used that. I started it and finished it, but I had that ColecoVision restoration because it started as I had it in a drawer because when you're doing what I'm doing, you tend to not play with toys unless you're shooting it on camera because it's potential value. So I bought it and then I never messed with it because I'm like, I'll shoot it someday. And I hadn't. So sometime, I guess, last year, I planned on doing a huge, ginormous video with all restoration from soup to nuts. Other things started happening, mid-year, new products started coming out, and it slid to the back burner. I've always, and people have asked me here on the vlog, in the comments and everything, why do you just cover Atari? Why do you just cover Atari? It's not a choice. It's the algorithm. I've mentioned this before, I also never set out to be an 80s, 70s, 80s era gaming history channel. It's just, that's the wedge that the little notch that I've fallen into, because when I do things on those topics, I get rewarded. So I do more of those things. But now that I've kind of found this little niche that is, 70s, 80s Atari, there are other things in that realm of 70s, 80s Atari, like, Atari just acquired Intellivision. Great stuff to explore there. The ColecoVision I've always been fascinated with. So I look at that ColecoVision. Look, I intended to do it as a series, but I wasn't going to guarantee to do it as a series. I left myself an out by saying, look, if you're interested in the video, if you saw it, I say, if you enjoy this, I want to see more, let me know. And that way, if there wasn't enough interest, I have an out, I don't do it. Well, it did well, so I plan to do more. Look, I have more shot already, right? I have to just write it and do some more stand-up, and there's the next bit that I could get out in the next week or two. But the greater thing is that even though this video did good, it did quite well, it wasn't like a top performer, but for a topic I do not cover and haven't covered regularly, to do as well as any other video, really, right in there, the running, tells me there is an appetite in this audience. I'm not apt to alienate them by doing other things of that era that aren't specifically the thing that I've come to be known for. So that's my hope. My hope is certainly that this will allow me to expand into more topics and do more things, expanding my audience potentially without that's the challenge, is always expand your scope without alienating why people are there in the first place. If I cover Ford and I cover Ford and I cover Ford and then I shift to Chevy, well, the Ford people can get mad, right? So you want to make sure if I'm, whatever it is I cover, expand to, are they Ford people or are they car people? And I think we're starting to find, at least with this one video so far, it's not that the people watching are Atari people, they are vintage, vintage console memories, nostalgia people, and they're enjoying ColecoVision as much as they did Atari potentially, and maybe if I do more of that, I can even drag in more people that are specifically interested in just that. So I think it was a great experiment. I think it answered the question, is there an appetite for it without damaging the audience? I think so. So I'm pushing forward with that. I'll do more. I already know a way what I already have, I can expand into about 4 episodes, including the first one, 3 more. Plus, I have an additional bit I could tack onto that. Plus, I have more cartridges that I've acquired. I have all this potential. So, yeah, just add that into the repertoire gradually. Look, I believe in gradual adjustments, not sharp turns. And so, I'm not going to drop Atari, right? I'm going to start sprinkling in these other things and slowly verify that I don't damage the audience that I have, and I'm growing it while expanding on the platform of things that I could possibly talk about. That just broadens my horizons. So glad how that worked out. I think it's a positive step. We'll keep an eye on it as we do more. Yeah, I think that's it for me for today. So that's Thursday. Thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog, if that's in fact what you did. I think you know by now that if you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you for your tenacity and sticking with me. Have a great Thursday. It won't be as great as mine because I'm having lunch with my daughter, but do remember to do something good for yourself, and I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.